I am live. Hello. I'm Sarika, your friendly neighborhood shaman. In this series I've been doing on using Xayún Wahó energy and energy healing modality, which is something that I've crafted over the last 18 years of working with this energy. Um, I never do anything without doing spiritual protections first, creating sacred space first. I think that this is something that is not lost but overlooked in modern, especially new age type new age styles of doing energy work, doing healings, blah 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 blah. You probably, if you've watched my channel for a while, you've probably heard me tell this story of a friend who found out that I did Reiki 20 plus years ago. This is a long time ago. And he was, I don't really do Reiki anymore. And he's like, "Oh, I'd love to get some energy work from you, but you have to promise me that you lock down the space first and do protections first." I was like, why? And he was like, "Because somebody did that to me once, gave me Reiki, and I got possessed by an entity." And I was like, "Okay, well, what's that all about?" And yeah, I'm not going to say the rest of the story, but it's a real thing. And I don't think that people really appreciate the fact that sometimes just by evoking a certain spiritual energy, it attracts bad stuff. The lighter the light gets, the more you light up in the spirit worlds, to use a very blanket general term, and the easier it is for undesirable things to be attracted to you. That is not to say that, like, as you grow spiritually and as your light shines brighter, things just get worse and darker, but it does light you up on the grid, if you want to think of it that way. All right. And so I think it's very important to set that very specific intention. The way that I do that, to set that specific intention, is by evoking or invoking, calling the eight guardians. This is sort of my concept, but it's also sort of universal. You see it in shamanism with the idea of the medicine wheel, the idea of the four directions, the idea of each of those directions being associated with an animal spirit. And then over in the Chinese, the Taoist systems, you have the Bagua, which is eight different directions. So it's the four directions and then the four sub directions. So that's where the eight come from. Each of those directions, I would like to think of them as aspects, really. Aspect as in sight, as in view, right? That's what aspect really means. Think about it. Look up the etymology of that word. All right. So different aspects of one unified whole of energy. And it's not a flat two-dimensional surface that we're talking about here, right? You're talking about a whole sphere of experience and, a gestalt of conscious awareness, if you will. And you are put at the center of that. So for me, I'm going to share with you some personal words to me in my magical language that I've crafted over the years. Guardian is stova, and plural is stovi. And so I use my own magical language when I'm doing mantra work and stuff like that, because I'm an Aquarius and everything has to be personal. Otherwise, I'm not interested. So I don't like picking up on other people's stuff. Just like I've told you, I don't necessarily like doing group work with other people, because I'm like, I don't want to be a part of the team. It's very strange, independently minded, crazy Aquarian maverick. So it has to be in my own magical language. And so you'll also see this, and in the name Xayún Wahó, Shaye means blessing or bless, to bless. In the verb form of the word Shaya is blessing, or sacredness, I guess. It's the same thing, sacred thing. Xayún is most sacred. All right. So I will say most sacred guardians, Xayún Stovi, Yishke, Yishke, Yishke. And that means cultivate. Just cultivate around me. Cultivate the energy that I'm sending to you, guardians. So that's what my mantra is. All right. And I always start with Om. I think it's very neutral in a way. I know it has all of these associations, but it really is just the best thing, because it opens up the lungs. Oh, and then the or even is an internal, excuse me, is an internal vibration, causes the inside of the body to be vibrated and all of that. And that's what you want as you're intending to send out energy. In this case, I'm using Xayún Wahó. Then you are vibrating your body and connecting that intention with the vibration. That's another thing, just really quickly, about mantra work. You have to do it right. You know, there are millions of ways to do it. There are millions of ways to think about it. But if you attach your mind, your attention, and your intention to that vibration as you're physically vibrating your body and intoning with your voice, it locks in place after a while, and everything becomes one thing. And that's just the real powerful way of doing it. Otherwise, you could just be like, Om, Om, Shanti, Om. None of that matters. You know, you can say the words, and the words have no power if there's no, conscious awareness and intention behind it. These are the real keys to energy work, spiritual work, meditation, all of this stuff, shamanic work, trance work, all of it. If you don't tune in, if you don't key in with intention, purpose, will, if you will, or I've paused and gone completely paralytic. If you don't tune in with the intention and purpose behind what you're intoning, it's worthless. You can say these prayers and mantras all day long, and they don't necessarily do or mean anything. All right, so I just wanted to get that out of the way. So that's all I'm doing. I'm going to do the 8 guardians protection for you, and that is what my mantra will be, so you know what the heck I'm saying when I start to invoke this energy. You're doing something like this, you're in your sacred space, you're in your power spot, you're in your place of power, and you do a certain mudra. This one I find to be very protective. I always feel this when I'm doing the protection work with the 8 guardians. If you want to do something really intense, crazy, and fancy, then you can do the Kuji-in. There are 9 of them, and so it would be 1 for each of the guardians, I suppose, or 1 for each aspect of the Bagua, which literally means 8 trigrams, and then a central one, which is you. All right, so just different models, different modalities, different ways of doing this stuff. Obviously, you could just do the 4 different directions. You can think of the spirit animal. I don't even think of them as specific beings with particular characteristics. If you tune into them individually, they do have those. However, I think it's just important. Okay, so we're just going to go for it. All right, so this is the one that I'm doing, and I am, again, trying, while I am intoning the mantra, which you will hear in a moment, I am intending to activate Xayún Wahó and feed these beings this energy. And I am feeding them that energy with the intention to surround me in protection. All right. So all of that becomes one thing. You're not saying, oh, okay, protections. Oh, okay, I'm giving you energy. Oh, okay, guardians. Oh, okay, mantra. All these different things in your mind. It should be unified. That's the point of doing any of this stuff. All right. So, just get going with a nice vibe. Om Xayún Stovishkeyaham. Om Xayún Stovishkeyaham. Om Xayún Stovishkeyaham. Om Xayún Stovishkeyaham. Okay, so that's only 4. You could keep going. Again, this is protection stuff. You could do this. This is very protective. And you do any, again, I said this in the last video, and I'll keep saying this because this is what I've learned over the years. If you do any mantra that is closed, you are closing the circuits of your body. Z, plural. All your energy bodies and your physical body, right? Okay, that's great. Now, if you want to expand that energy a bit, you can do this. Om Shayún Stovishkeyahom. The energy begins to vibe a little bit more out, all right? This is a really great one to do with Xayún Wahó energy in general, right? You can do this. It feels a little different, doesn't really matter, but you're connecting all of those lines of energy, all right? Now, when you really want to start directing that energy to these spiritual beings of protection, and I should say one thing, that they are beings of cultivation. So you give them energy and they give you energy. They represent pure forms of existence, of consciousness, and all of that. So they're not just about protection, as in like, oh, please protect me, you great and powerful spiritual beings, you know, and that kind of stuff. They are aspects of you, of consciousness, and aspects of the world and the cosmos in general, right? So as you're going to do that, you may want to then move, after building up energy and vibing all the things, then you're going to want to open your hands in whatever manner you see fit. You could just palms right here, and intending to offer them the energy that you are activating, that you are, what's the word? That you're giving, that you're offering to these beings. I like to keep them neutral. I'm not like working with aliens or that kind of stuff anymore. It's not my jam. All right. These are natural forces and they're part of us. Also, you know, something like this if you want to. And then you could do, you know, the things, different postures that you'll see me constantly use in these Xayún Wahó energy healing sessions. So, you know, going to the earth, fingers pointing down, slightly open, taut hands so that energy comes out, not like this, not like that, right? Somewhere in between. You'll find that little shaky period right there. Om Shayún Stovishkeyahom. In my magical language, Yacham means around me, and so that's what I'm using. Yacham means within me. You don't have to know my magical language. This is just the way that I do it, and I thought you might find it interesting. All right. Then you could do the up here. This is another thing that you'll find in my energy modality that I like to do. Very simple postures, but what we're really doing is, you know, causing energy to flow in a certain direction for a specific purpose. So down here, we're doing earth, and we're connecting to that earth point, right? Up here, and we're doing sky, and we're connecting to that sky point or that cosmic point, mother, father. And then you would do Om Stovishkeyahom within me. And this is the middle world. This is us. This is the human part. All right. So divine mother, divine father, divine human, and the great central heart of humanity. So I will just send a little bit of energy. And if stuff comes through, then yeah. Once you get really adept at doing this stuff, it's not like you have to use the mantra. It just makes it a little more powerful and real. And you want to connect all of the things. You want to connect the posture, the movement. You want to connect the voice, the intention. You want to connect the energy that you are invoking. All of that stuff, again, should become unified and become one. When you become adept, you can just do it. You don't have to think about it. You just do it. You know what your intention is. And it is actually more a process of presence, being present with the intention that you know you already have. It sounds silly, but it's a thing. All right. So I'm just going to send some of that energy with the Eight Guardians and Xayún Wahó, and you can soak it up if you want to. And then I will end this video. A lot of people need a lot of protection these days, myself included. You know, I don't do as much spiritual work and energy work as I used to, but I'm trying to get back on the ball. I have been doing that for so long, but I had 2 years, 3 years of being unhealthy and sick, and, you know, then moved to New Orleans and sort of got like caught up in the reveling partying culture for a little while. Now even my partner is like, we need to detox, man, you know, and I'm just like, cool, let's do it. So more of these videos, more energy work for everyone, and champagne for everyone. And yeah, I'll see you guys again soon. Let me know if you have any questions.